All right, we got Juneteenth coming up here in a few days. And of course, there's been a lot of talk recently about if Juneteenth should be a national holiday or not. Now, as somebody born and raised here in Texas, I'm going to tell you right now that the answer to that question should be no. Now, for anybody who thinks it should be a national holiday, you need to, ask yourself, what is your reason for wanting that? Or what do you think the black community is going to get out of it? Because it seems like the people who want this to happen, as far as making Juneteenth a national holiday, are doing it because they want recognition or acceptance. But Juneteenth doesn't need anyone else's acceptance or recognition. We've been celebrating this holiday here in Texas for a long time. A long time. So there's nothing that we need from the federal government or any politician that would change that or make it better or do anything for us. Now, you have to know that, like the old saying goes, whenever you ask for something, be careful what you wish for, because everything has an adverse reaction. Now, once Juneteenth becomes a national holiday, do you really think that the black community is going to maintain control of the holiday? Or is it going to be like the MLK Day in a lot of parts of this country? Well, right now you're trying to reclaim MLK because a lot of different people, a lot of different agendas have turned it into something else or try to manipulate the holiday to their benefit. And that's exactly what will happen to Juneteenth if it becomes a national holiday. Because you can already see the potential of that happening right now. Like you have, I think it's the NFL and I think Nike both made Juneteenth company holidays. Now you got a company like Nike. It's probably, let's just guess, 95% non-black as far as their employees. We're not talking about the people who endorse the product. We're talking about the people who actually work for the company. The great majority of them, we already know, aren't black. So basically, you're going to give this 95% of your employees a paid holiday or time off for Juneteenth. So how does that benefit black people? You got the NFL who wants to make Juneteenth a holiday. How about the NFL if they really cared? How about they hire more black coaches and black executives if they really want to make a difference? But nah, they want to declare a holiday, which does nothing, provides no benefit for the community outside of, I guess, some people feeling good that they're being recognized. And the craziest thing about it is Juneteenth, even as far as black people, hasn't been celebrated nationally. It's not celebrated nationally right now. It's something that over the years, especially over the past probably 10, 15 years, 20 years or so, that black people throughout the country have been learning about it and slowly, starting to celebrate it themselves. But this isn't even like a nationwide black holiday at this point. But now it's going to be catapulted into a national holiday for everyone, all non-black peoples included. And what do you think is going to happen at that point? Don't you think that all these people will now start giving their opinions on how it should be celebrated? What can and can't be done? Because we've been celebrating down here for a long time, doing what we want to do, how we want to do it. But now that all these once it becomes corporate and federal, those people now have opinions on it. They now are going to have input on it. All these corporations putting money into different organizations that supposedly are going to help the black community, don't be foolish enough to think that they're just giving this money away for free with no strings. Because trust me, whoever writes the checks writes the rules. So they spending all this money, they're going to have input. And that's how it works now. Whenever you throw an event, if you get sponsors, especially corporate sponsors, you got to abide by their rules and meet their guidelines if you want their money. And unfortunately, black people often have to get money from non-black people. Now you have non-black people creating guidelines on how black people should host events. Now you're going to have all these politicians on top of the corporations. You're going to have these politicians who also want to use Juneteenth as, a prop. Don't be surprised now if you see all of your favorite politicians all mentioning Juneteenth. And just like a few weeks ago, we had Nancy Pelosi and other politicians wearing their kente stoles and bowing down or kneeling down in some sort of recognition. Like, we don't need, the theatrics and the pictures and the photo ops. What we need is substantial change. And we definitely don't need simple recognition. Because trust me, we're going to continue to hold our barbecues and parades and events like we've always had here down south here in Texas. And whether whatever politician or company or corporation or celebrity knows or recognizes it means nothing to us. So, like I said, again, be careful of what you ask for. And we have to really ask ourselves, what do we think we're going to get out of that? Because like right now here in Texas, Juneteenth is a state holiday. And I think there's other states where it's a state holiday. But really at that point, they just put it on the calendar. They recognize it. If you're a state employee, they don't shut everything down as far as state agencies, but state employees have the option of taking the day off or just getting, paid leave for the future, which is cool. But, I think that a lot of people want some sort of situation where everything is shut down like the 4th of July. Like, man, that's not going to happen. And even if it did, why would you want that to happen? So you cool with everybody getting the day off on the back of your ancestors. And one thing I almost forgot, speaking of these corporations, like I said, if this becomes a national holiday, they're going to commercialize it. You already have right now online and on Facebook a lot of Asian and Indian companies making Juneteenth t-shirts and flags and other items for sale and pretending that they're black-owned companies. If you've been on Facebook recently, I'm pretty sure you've seen all the ads. Like, they're obvious they're not black-owned. They'll say, call themselves stuff like Black and Proud 365. Now, if it becomes a national holiday, it's going to get even worse than it is now. You already know you're going to walk up in Walmart and see Juneteenth t-shirts everywhere. And who's going to be making these shirts and making the money off of these shirts? And whatever other else Juneteenth items these companies start selling. Chances are it's not going to be us. Now, we may, make some money, but you already know all these other groups and people are going to try to capitalize on that as well. Then, of course, back to these politicians. We've already seen Donald Trump talking about holding a rally on Juneteenth to get some sort of points with the black community, I guess. And we definitely don't need other politicians doing the same. We can already see Joe Biden showing up at somebody's barbecue doing the electric slide, and then black people saying yay and this vote for him. Like, this happens every election season. And let's not let our holiday, our day, be used as a prop. And outside of it being used as a prop, let me give you an example of what I mean by people trying to use the holiday for their own agenda. Like, I was just online and I came across an article talking about, the possibility of making Juneteenth a holiday. And, a lot of people leaving their comments, giving their opinions. So one of the first comments I saw was from someone who said that Juneteenth would be a great way to bring everyone together because there were white people who helped free the slaves. So basically, she wanted to use the holiday as a way to, highlight white people and other non-black people for their perceived contribution towards freeing black people. Now, I don't know about you, but white people have received more than enough recognition throughout history in our 400 years here in this country. Like, what more recognition do white people need for anything? So how are we going to turn our holiday into an opportunity to recognize someone else? Yeah, so like I said, I think everyone just needs to slow their roll with all this making Juneteenth a national holiday talk. I mean, if all 50 states made it, state holiday, that might be okay. But definitely making it a national holiday, that concerns me. And we just need to be careful for all the reasons I, already spoke about. And definitely enjoy your day. Enjoy the whole weekend. It's been real hard out here this past few months for Black America. Of course, it's always been hard, but, these past few months really, really been difficult. And let's just use this opportunity to honor our ancestors, reflect on where we've been, and come up with a plan on where we're going to go from here on out. And if you like this video, like it, subscribe to my channel, share the video. And until next time, peace.